Hey there, it's Kevin Focht, Focht Creative. I have a cold, getting over it, but we're going to talk to you about traveling with your gear. I have to travel tomorrow with this cold, so Sudafed, lots of Sudafed, because there's nothing worse than when you're traveling and you're landing and you got your head, feel like you're going to explode and think you're going to die. But I have a man cold, I will man up. I'm going to have to get somebody to buy me a cherry Slurpee, because a man cold, for you women who don't know, it's literally, we're close to death. And the only cure is a cherry Slurpee, but we cannot get it ourselves. Somebody else has to get it, because if we go into 7-Eleven, get our Slurpee, you know what happens? The Grim Reaper, he takes us away. So I always remember, man cold, cherry Slurpee, you have to get it for him. Okay, that's an extra tip right there. So anyway, we're going to talk about packing up for a trip here. First thing you need is your beverage of choice, because it's going to take you a while. So I like, you know, it sounds like I'm having a beer, but it's actually a Diet Dr. Pepper. I kind of like my Diet Sodies. So take a little sip of that, because you're going to need lots of caffeine. And then another thing you need is a checklist. So you have your studio manager do this for you, or your wife, or your boyfriend, whoever. Just don't do it yourself. Essie did this one, but you literally need a checklist, because otherwise you get there and you go, oops, where was that? So checklist, check it once, check it twice, check it 3 times if you're nice. I have no idea what I'm doing here. So anyway, let's come over here now. And we're looking at the studio. Just kind of take a wide shot of the studio here. You've got all this gear, right? You got a ton of gear, and you want to take it all, but you can't, because you're going on location. And everything's got to fit in this box right here. And this is actually a pretty big box. And that's something to keep in mind too. When you're purchasing a box for travel, it used to not be a big deal when I bought this. The weight restrictions there wasn't a weight restriction. Now there are. This actually cost me more on a trip here lately. I'm not going to name the airline, United. Never fly United. Anyway, actually it was, no, it wasn't, it was Delta. And they switched me to United, and I had to pay more because they put me on a United flight. When I deliberately went to delta.com to book it. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. So anyway, this thing is pretty heavy without anything in it. I mean, you're almost at the weight restriction there. So keep that in mind when you're buying a bag. I actually think I'm going to switch to those hard-sided luggage things with the wheels on the bottom you wheel along, because you can put padding and stuff in it, and they're really, really light, and they're hard-sided, so it's going to keep your gear safe anyway, unless somebody really jumps on it. But anyway, let's go to soft boxes first. I've got to take portraits of people. I actually have no idea what I'm shooting. They just said I'm taking portraits of people for this ad agency in Miami, in a hotel. I have no idea. So, but I would love to take this nice, huge softbox. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Take that sucker, set that up, boom, I'd be good to go. Can't take it. It's too big. Even breaking it down, that's just going to take up too much space. But what I can do, I have 2 4-foot softboxes. Okay, these condense down really small, and what that does, it gives me actually 2 ways to light, because I have 2 softboxes. I could stack them and recreate what this is, one on top of the other. So you'd have a 4x8, whatever softbox, 4x6, or use them side by side. You got lots of options there. That's the thing when you're packing. You want to have lots of options, because I know they're saying they just want a portrait with a softbox. As soon as I get there, they're going to be like, oh no, that's not what we want. So you have to be prepared for that, but you have to pack for it too. Another thing, extension cords. You can get yourself a really big long extension cord, or get 2 little ones. Take up less space. And sometimes you need to plug in 2 different things in 2 different spaces, so you need 2 little ones instead of 1 big one that takes up a lot of space. Okay, also you want an extension for, if you're using a power pack, you want to have an extension for the head, so that you can move it around. If you need to move an extra head way back behind, because you don't know where your power source is going to be, so you might have to have your power pack next to the power source, and then you can move the head back with that. Light stands. Oh, I would love to take this big heavy light stand. Oh, it'd be so awesome. But when you condense it down, it won't fit in the box. This is something that's very important. You really, when you buy your box, make sure a light stand will fit in it. These are still fairly sturdy. I think these are, I don't even know who makes these, Manfrotto, I think. But what I did is, because I have 2 different types of head, one takes the universal European, I guess is what it is there, and then I get the other one with the little screw on, And that way I've got two options for my light stands. You never know when that's gonna happen. Let's say you're somewhere, your gear goes out, your backup goes out, you need to rent something. Okay, the head comes and it's the wrong one. You've got two options here. Options, 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 options. So light stands, very important. This will fit right in there. Nice and snug, perfect. Okay, now you've heard me talk about sync cords. This is why I hate sync cords. But you know what? I'm taking a sync cord along with me because if the wireless fails, the sync cord won't. So even as much as I hate sync cords, a big old mess like this, I'm taking one along. Okay, I also am going to take a small Octabank just in case. And the reason I'm taking that is this is like a nice Octabank softbox, a small one. But let's say, ooh, I need an umbrella look. I can peel that off and I've got a mini umbrella too. So once again, options, options. I'm going to take my power pack with me. It's a small one. This is why I use Norman, because their stuff is small. Okay, so I'm going to take that, but instead of taking an extra power pack in case it goes dead, I'm going to take, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I thought I had it out. Anyway, we'll just talk about it. I'm going to take my monolight. A monolight. I don't know where my monolights are. Put away somewhere. Anyway, I'm going to take a monolight with me so in case that goes out, I've still got one head to shoot with, and then I can take a grid spot for it also. So I'll have let's be able to put a spotlight or a background light or something like that with a grid spot. And then reflectors. This would be a good reflector to take because you can do a lot with it, but it takes up too much space. Once again, take a smaller reflector. It's close to the same thing. And if you put a diffusion thing over it, it'll emulate that. Smaller is better. So basically, that's kind of it about packing. It's just like make sure you have lots of options available to you. Think ahead, like the softbox thing. By taking two smaller ones, I'm able to make a big one or separate the lights. So there's your tip of the week about traveling. I hope I didn't sound too sick because I'm barely hanging on. Essie's going to have to get me a Slurpee. Essie, will you get me a Slurpee later, please? No. Oh man. So anyway, there's your tip of the week. Check out more at fochtcreative.com and we'll talk to you later from Miami because we're going to Miami on this trip. Woohoo! Get all suntanned. So anyway, that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.